You can start.
Welcome to the future. Let's go, let's get it. Won't stop, we just beginning. Came here, one goal to win it. Fight them right to the finish. Let's go, we on it. Toss people, power running. All eyes on this, just watch. Bet you can't guess what's coming next. Get ready, get ready, get ready, alright. We on that next level. We up on that next. Up on that next. We up on that next. On that next. On that next. Pedal to the metal. Get ready, away. We on that next level.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? It is my pride and privilege to welcome Vineet Sood and the wonderful Adobe team here today at Aspire for Her. I'm Madhura Dasgupta Sinha, founder and CEO of Aspire for Her, and I'm very delighted to welcome Vineet and actually talk about who Vineet really is. Vineet is a leader at Adobe, but that's not really his real introduction. He is equal parts salesperson, thinker and planner, strategist, and orchestra conductor with over 25 years of experience in building businesses from the ground up. In his 12 years with Adobe, he has built foundations for 2 new businesses. He grew India SMB sales to #1 in APAC in 2014, volunteered to be the first Adobe team to go from perpetual to subs model and provide learnings. He also created the largest SMB phones business from scratch. Vineet was recognized as the top 10 Adobe salesperson of the year in 2017. Over the years, Vineet has gathered knowledge and ability to yield results by analytically diagnosing areas of opportunity and suboptimal performance, modeling processes, program and campaigns that create revenue beachheads, executing widely important goals while being in the whirlwind of the Adobe ecosystem. And I can vouch for the fact that it is indeed a whirlwind of the Adobe ecosystem, because we've had the pleasure of working with Adobe for the past few months. And every time that we come to you with Adobe, it is something wonderful, something very new, and something truly, truly exciting. Today, with his experience, he recognizes patterns and makes impactful business judgments. A 10% prudence here means a 30 million impact per year for Adobe. He's now chartered a vision to create a nucleus for global phones that will fuel Adobe's next phase of growth. As a leader, he stayed ahead of the curve consistently. He's known to make wise calls, whether that was switching to WFH post pandemic before any other team, while holding his team to operate at a higher productivity than ever before, or now deciding to be a pilot for the remote work policy for his team in India. This is truly music to our ears, Vineet. All of this while maintaining a consistent employee engagement score of over 80 plus. In today's day and age, we all know how difficult that is. Now that we've got to know you better, Vineet, a warm welcome to Aspire for Her. Thank you for being an ally. Thank you for walking with us on this journey as we add 1 million women to the workforce by 2025. Adobe's partnership has meant the world to us, and we're eagerly looking forward to learning from you. Thank you, Vineet, and over to you.
Thank you, Madhura, for a generous introduction. I'm excited to be part of this forum. Hopefully, we can contribute to more women participating in sales. There's a lot changed in sales, so I'm excited about just sharing my perspective with all of us today. So we can get started. If you can bring my slides up. So today, I think we're talking about you. You in the sales world. I think from a perspective of sales, there's a lot which changed over the years. If we rewind back a little bit, sales is one of the oldest professions in the world. And it was one of those professions which has not changed much over a period of time. But in recent times, this has kind of really changed a lot. And I'd like to kind of bring to you how this has changed for good, how this will help more people, more women to participate in the sales world. If I'm able to kindle a little bit of interest in everybody to look at sales as a career option, then I think this talk would have done its job today. So to get started, I'm going to start helping you guys warm up a little, participate, interact with us on the chat. So I've got question number 1 for you, which is coming up now. So mirror, mirror, and in this case, this is the glass pane. Which is most noble profession out of the ones that you know? I've got some options for you here. Let's see what are the responses that we get in chat. I'll give it a moment for people to type in their responses. I'm seeing that, look, teaching is getting a lot of votes. A bit of engineering coming in now. Medicine as well. Yeah. Happy to see those responses coming in. I think teaching and medicine is taking the lead there. Okay. Let me give you my perspective. I agree. Teaching is mother of all professions. Teachers really teach you to pick up any professions that you want to kind of pick up in your life and career later on. So from that perspective, It is mother of all professions. But as a profession, they're always asking you to study, to work harder, to do more. And that's how people kind of come out and do well in their careers. So teaching definitely is one of the most noble professions. Medicine also is a noble profession, right? It's curing people. Cutting edge science, right? In terms of increasing the longevity of life. But it comes with, again, guidance, instructions, medicines, injections, and all of it, right? Gives a little bit of faith. Engineering also, you're building the world, right? Manufacturing things, constructing infrastructure, and so forth. So all of these are professions which are contributing the world. But I'll give you my answer, and that should have been very obvious on the slide that we shared. The most noble profession, according to me, we don't have a choice here, but it is sales. And why do I say sales? Each of the professions that you've seen there, they're asking you to do more. They're giving you more guidance or injections or homework. But in sales, it's different. In sales, we are always selling a brighter future. We're always giving more. We are showing a path to everyone. How can they become even more successful? And that's what I'm talking about today. So if you can give me a click. Selling is just not selling, right? We are doing something with a purpose. And our purpose is to help. If it is just plain selling, that's not going to work, right? And really, I think if you look at businesses and humans, everybody wants to improve their performance to get to potential. And that's the magic of sales. That's what we help businesses and humans get to. If there are people and we give them a better way of doing something or getting to an outcome, they're unlikely to go back to their old ways. Let me give you an example. If there are people who are commuting by, let's say, a two-wheeler, you give them a car, they won't go back to a two-wheeler. There are commuters who graduate to a business class travel. They won't go back to economy, right? All of this happens because you're fulfilling a need there. And that's what sales does, right? Makes it easy for a human or business to get more done. So from that perspective, yes, sales is also one of the noble professions that we believe is driving the world. But there is women participation, which is a question mark, at least in India. So if you look at, give me a click. If you look at the amount of women in the sales workforce, as per a LinkedIn survey and a recent one, there's only 19% of women in the entire sales workforce. It's slightly higher when you look at southern states and southern cities, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai. When you start looking at ITES, you again see a slightly higher contribution. It's 22 to 23%. But that 1 in 5 people in sales being women, according to me, is less. At Adobe, in my team, we are 1 in 3, about 30 to 32% of team members in my team are women. Still, there's scope to do more. So if sales is such a noble profession and we are helping people do more, why is the women participation low? Can we solve a bit of that? Let's look at a little bit of background of how people have actually perceived sales. As I said, sales is a very old profession, but it has always been deemed like an aggressive sport. You needed to be extrovert in this environment, right? You meant to travel across cities, intracity, intercity, right? You needed to kind of wait for those meetings and so forth. You were expected to have exceptional interpersonal skills. And then when you did not make your numbers, you had to be thick-skinned in the sense that, look, there'll be another day and I'll make numbers and so forth. And all on top of this, you had to be business savvy. Essentially, this world from outside looked like that you had to be door knockers. You had to cold call. And that was not everybody's cup of tea. Even if women started in sales, they dropped out, right? Because it did not feel safe. It did not feel safe to meet strangers and just use your interpersonal skills and articulation to actually make a sale. And that's the reason the participation of women has been lower in sales than it should be. But things have changed. Let me talk to you about what's changed in the outside B2B world and what's changed in sales per se, to give you a little more idea of where can you start in sales. So give me a click. So the B2B world has changed over the past decade or two, more so recently, right? Recently, even the way we eat, study, play, work, all of that has changed, right? And that has had a lot of impact on how we work in sales. Okay. Give me all the clicks there, Akshara. So I think now in a B2B world, and a B2B world is what, right? B2B world is our customers, it's you, it's me, it's all the managers, everybody else who's working in the sales world, right? All of these people, including our customers, are now comfortable working remotely, working from home in any environments that they are in. And all of them are required to manage themselves. They don't have the support that they had in the offices, right? Peers are not there, managers are not there, IT support is not there. And so what that means is everybody's learned to do things themselves, do it yourself, right? DIY. And so when that happens, everybody's saying, make it easy for me. If I have to buy something, then I must get it as soon as I kind of buy it. I don't have to negotiate, wait for somebody to come and deliver stuff to me. All of that is something that people don't expect anymore. What has also changed is people are busier than ever before now, right? And so getting them on phone, getting them on other mediums is getting tougher and difficult. And most customers are preferring asynchronous communication. They want to talk when they want to talk. And they may prefer any channel. It could be chat, voice, social, video, anything, right? And then in this world, nobody wants to be pushed to buy something. Nobody wants to be pushed by a salesman or saleswoman to buy something, right? It is when they want to buy, they will buy. So those are trends which have changed and is impacting sales in a very large fashion across different companies, different industries, and so forth. I'll talk a little bit about just the IT industry per se and how we are doing sales, how this is modernized, and how this makes it easy for participation from all corners of a community and society, and including women. Give me a click. So modern sales is different now because all customers start their journey with digital or social, right? If they're interested in anything, if they become aware of anything, they start their journey themselves from commerce sites, from, like in our case, adobe.com, right? And so modern sales teams are those which are connected to the digital world. You're connected to the digital funnel, you're connected to the engagement funnel, both pre-acquisition as well as post-acquisition. Now, when that's happening, you are actually conversing with people who are already aware of what they're wanting to buy. You're not catching people out of the cold. And then you're helping them get to desired outcomes. Right? So a modern sales team is connected to digital. Second, in a modern sales team, the dependence is not on individual's capability or an individual skill. Skills can be built by an individual, but capabilities are built by the team. Right? So the modern teams are more reliant on how they've built their organization so that the required skill is brought in at the right time as required by the process, by the seller, or by the customer as and when they want it. So it's the team capabilities which matter in a modern sales world. And then when you look at the modern sales world, customers are traversing through the digital platforms and they're leaving pug marks all over. So there is intelligence feed which is brought into straight into the hands of a seller. They exactly know what the customer is doing and where they are in the journey, so that as a human being, you can help that customer to get to the next step, to get to a desired outcome. So that intelligence feed now is right in your computer, right? You don't need to kind of look at your network. You don't need to look at like different newspapers and all of it. All of that data is syndicated to kind of give you a clear view of what you need to do with the customer. And all of this is now also in remote setting. You can meet anybody across the world sitting in your living room and talk to them about helping them. So no commutes, no traversing the city, no odd hours in terms of trying to meet strangers, but it's just about helping people. And if you're comfortable doing this, then this is a bus to board from a career standpoint of view, because it gives you not only a satisfaction of helping people, but also it is easily visible in terms of the numbers that you're delivering, the satisfaction that you get at the end of the day, end of the week or the quarter in terms of what you delivered for the business. And this comes with accelerators and so forth. And the jobs are paying well as well. And so that's the reason I'd encourage that you look at sales as a career. It's changed for good. It'll give you more things to do sitting right from your home. Give me a click. So having talked about a modern sales team, I want to introduce my team to you guys today, right? We've charted the modern sales process for Adobe, and we are a team which directly sells to our customers, and that's where this name comes in, Adobe Business Direct. We're a team of about 400 sellers who are remote, spread across the world, and we're doing end-to-end sales. Right? There are no intermediaries. We're directly talking to the customers, helping them to get to the outcome. And all intelligence, all feed is given to our sellers to be successful. Right? I think we talked about this. We consciously took a call that, look, we are operating 24/7 because we have people who operate in APAC region, talking to our ANZ customers right in the morning. Then there are customers across Asia Pacific, including India. that we do business with. We do business with our European customers who speak English, and then the North American customers. So we are operating in all time zones. Obviously, we have different shift timings, but we have a structure where people can experience different cultures too. And so that makes us a team which gives you a lot of flavors in terms of selling and how it clicks with customers. Again, remote setting is something that should solve a lot of people's requirements in terms of being able to do all this sitting from home. Should I just give me one more click, please? And we have myriads of roles at Adobe Business Direct, right? They may vary from where customers call us, right? And these are roles in my inbound team, or these are roles in my chat sales team, where customers are coming from adobe.com and trying to talk to us to get to a desired outcome. It may be our existing customers where we see signals and needs of being able to kind of give them more so that they can get to their outcomes. These are outbound roles, the CSAM roles that we have, right? And then the roles which help the sellers become successful, which are the enablement roles, the QA roles that are continuously empowering our sellers to become even better. Operations, which keeps all of this ecosystem ticking, is again an area which we are investing big time. It's a big team out there for us to kind of make 400 people successful. And then there is obviously management. So as you do well here, you show consistent performance, you show capability to mentor others, then you can get into a management role. And there are layers of management also across my team who make this ecosystem tick. So myriads of role to choose from. I know there'll be people who want to start. There are roles for them. There are people who want to graduate to more things. There are roles for them too. So many options here. And given the size of our team, there is always roles available in terms of we filling backfills, or there are new investments which are coming through. So that makes it an evergreen opportunity for people who want to look at Adobe and Adobe Business Direct. Yeah, should I give me one more click, please? So how do you prepare for a sales role, right? Obviously, you have to clear interviews to really get into Adobe, and they may be, depending on your role, 2 or 3 interviews, right? But I just want to caveat one thing, right? While sales has become more automated, it is more modern now, but there is a self-discipline required in this kind of a role, right? Because you are on your own, working remotely. Self-motivation is the key, right? There's nobody pushing you, but if you have to kind of be successful in this role, you have to motivate yourself to be able to complete the task that you put for yourself. And then again, I think sales is not a subject that we learn through our formal education, right? This is something that we start learning on job. And then when we do something like this, it requires continuous learning. You need mentors. You need to look at how other people are doing it, right? So to me, I think those are key components to become successful in sales, right? And then I know the journey in sales, there is grind in the beginning, right? But if you clear the grind, you have the basic fundamental skills, you will succeed in sales in long term. I mean, if I look back at my career, or look back at the career of any of my managers or any of my sellers, this is consistent, right? They will be grind in the beginning because you're picking up the threads of the profession, right? But I will also say, as women, you have superpower in terms of being articulate. That will help you in this profession. You have a superpower of helping people, of nurturing. Again, that's a superpower in sales, right? If you just do that, you will get to outcomes. And then that's good performance. And as women, you also have a peripheral vision. You also have this ability to look at details, right? all of this will put you in a good stead to pick up a sales role. And I can say this, right? If there are 3 things that you can do before you talk to anybody, those 3 things are this, right? Just trying to understand who are you for the customer? Why should they talk to you? And what is the outcome for them? Those are deep questions. If I had more time, I'd go into those, but I just want to leave it to the surface level. That's the level of introspection required for a role like this. And it's a giving role. Hopefully, you will use your superpowers to make sales as a viable option for your career. Give me a click, please, Aksha. So you have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You will choose to steer in the direction that you choose to go to. Today, I have 2 of my colleagues, Ayushi and Anjali. They decided to steer on this mountain of sales profession, and they've conquered a few. I'm bringing them here to talk to you. Hopefully, they'll seed a few thoughts with you and inspiration for you to figure out what's your next mountain you want to climb. Pleased to introduce Ayushi to begin with. She's been with my team for a few years, but I'll let her talk about her journey with us and what she aspires for from here onwards. Welcome, Ayushi.
Thank you so much, Vineet. Hi, everyone. My name is Ayushi, and I would like to thank you all for joining in today's discussion. I'm really glad that I've got this opportunity to share my journey with you, and I hope I'm able to inspire some of you at least. Let me start it by asking a question from all of you. How many of us knew what we wanted to do in our lives? I didn't. I wanted to do so many things. I wanted to become a doctor, a pilot, an IS officer, but life had different plans for me. I loved maths, and my love for maths made me do graduation in maths honors. Not many of us select this option. It is not a preferred course to do. And most of the strength in my batch, it was men, because it is a conception that women are not good at maths. But I did select that course, and I completed it. And I was all geared up to become a statistician. But the maths that I loved, where I was able to apply logics, use my brain, do problem solving, hustle to get to that solution, it was not there in my graduation. It was all theoretical. That's when I realized this is not what I want to pursue anymore. So after my graduation, I was again standing on that crossroads of what to do next. I thought I'll not pursue my studies before, knowing what I exactly want. And I thought to give it a try to do a job. But I didn't have any technical degree. I didn't have a post-graduation degree. So the options for me were very limited. And it was hard to find something to get started. That's when customer-centric roles came to my rescue. Such roles and the qualification for such roles do not require very high qualification. All they want from you is decent communication skills and the zeal to learn and grow. And rest could be learned on the job. One of my friends referred to me in a startup where she was working, and I interviewed and I got selected for a business development executive role. And from there, my journey started. And for next 2.5 years, I continued working on business development executive or account manager roles. But one day, I got a call from Adobe for an interview, and I was really excited and nervous at the same time. I went through the multiple round of interviews that I have, and only if I can put in words how nervous I was throughout the process. It seemed like a far-fetched dream. Multiple people apply for brands like this, and it was a dream to work with Adobe. I was not confident at all that I'll make it, but gladly I did. I was hired. When the offer letter came, I was I was on cloud 9, but I was more scared because the position that I was hired for was inbound sales manager, a hardcore sales role where you will have numbers, you'll have targets, you'll have quarterly performances, and on these bases, you'll be judged. But we hustle every day in our lives. So I thought, why not to take up to this challenge as it was worth it? When I came in Adobe and I met my colleagues, most of them were more experienced than me. Not only in the terms of their years of experience, they had experience of working with multiple big brands and MNCs, whereas for me, it was the first big name that I was working with. I was really not confident how I will match up to their level. But then I decided to learn. I focused on learning completely. And I went into the depth of understanding our product and our process. And I observed them and learned from their day to day activities. My managers and colleagues helped me throughout. And I'm proud to say that I crushed my numbers every single quarter. I then got the opportunity to mentor the new hires and help them achieve their targets. As a reward, I've been recently promoted as a team lead. So, from being the mentee to being the mentor, I climbed up the first mountain of my success. The girl who was not sure how she will be doing her own targets is now responsible for the targets of a team. The girl who was so scared that she'll not even make it in the interviews is now taking the interviews for the openings in our team. Let me again ask you a question, and I would love to see some answers. Any guesses how old I am? I'm not 18, but any guesses? Yeah, so I am 25. I mean, I'll turn 26 next month, but 25 sounds good, right? So I'm 25. And if I can do it, so can you. If this underconfident, not so experienced, confused girl can do it, so can you. Well, this was my journey. I have colleagues in my team who are single mothers who wear multiple hats every day. They handle their kid, their home, and their work perfectly. Multitasking is inbuilt in us. It's a superpower that every woman has. Now, let me introduce you to my first manager and mentor here at Adobe who helped me grow. Over to you, Anjali.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Ayushi. So I will start with the same question as Ayushi's. How many of us knew what to do with their life? I did, or I thought I did. Hello, my name is Anjali Sharma, and today I'd like to share my journey from an IT background to becoming a successful sales manager. So, along the way, I will also discuss the misconception that sales is often seen as aggressive and only a man's job, which couldn't be further from truth. Like Vineet said, we currently have 32% women working in sales in Adobe, and we are looking to grow that number. Coming back to my journey, I graduated in IT and was all set to work in software field. I began my career working as a graduate engineer trainee and worked in the field for a couple of years. While my IT background equipped me with technical knowledge and analytical skills, I felt the desire to explore a different path. I always felt I was better at working directly with clients than working behind the scenes. And this led to me making a transition into the world of sales, starting as a sales agent. I saw myself in new light and I was more confident than ever to thrive in this field. Coming from an army family, I already had the discipline that is required in sales. My task now was to understand what I needed to do to succeed in sales, and that is where Adobe helped me. In my sales role, I quickly realized that it's more about problem solving and providing value to customers than being pushy. My IT background allowed me to understand the technical needs of clients, making it easier to tailor solution to their specific requirements. However, not being an IT graduate never stopped my colleagues to do the same for the customers. Now, sales earlier was known to be a man's field, and hence I encountered the stereotype of aggressive salespeople, but I was determined to defy this perception. Instead of being aggressive, I focused on building rapport and trust with customers. I listened to their needs and concerns, and I genuinely cared about helping them find the right products or services. Just the way I would want a sales rep to help me while I'm out deciding on something important. With hard work and dedication and the support I received from my peers, I advanced in my career and eventually became a sales manager. This platform gave me wings and helped me help others excel at what they do, just like Ayushi. As a women sales manager, I focused on mentoring my team, fostering a supportive and collaborative environment. I encouraged my team to prioritize clients' need and provide outstanding service than using aggressive tactics. I believe that sales is about helping people make informed decisions, not pushing them into buying something that they don't need. By leading by example, I aimed to change the perception of sales from being aggressive to consultative and customer centric, hence, developing it into something all my women counterparts can thrive in. In conclusion, my journey from IT to becoming a sales manager has been incredibly rewarding. Sales is not about aggression, it's about understanding and assisting clients. It's about building relationships, solving problems, and delivering value, which all women are so good at already. I hope my journey demonstrates that you can succeed in sales while being ethical and customer focused, irrespective of what education background you come from. Believe me, we women are amazing salespeople. We can sell anything. Thank you for being part of this amazing session and giving us an opportunity to share our journeys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vineet, Ayushi, and Anjali. Good evening, everyone. I'm Preeti Bhaskaran, lead corporate partnerships at Aspire for Her. I'm sure that, after hearing this very inspiring and insightful session by Vineet, as well as hearing from Ayushi and Anjali on their individual journeys, each one of you here is inspired, and we hope that, a lot of the myths that you may have had around sales careers have been busted. Uh, we have some really interesting Adobe trivia coming up for you. So let's understand, how well each one of you knows Adobe. So requesting Farisha to put across the questions here. Okay, so the first question is, how many advertisements are delivered through mobile, text, and email in a day through Adobe Experience Cloud? Is it 36 lakhs? Is it 18 lakhs? Is it 7,50,000? Is it 3.3 trillion? Is it 2.41 trillion? Okay. Some very interesting answers here. Okay, so a lot of you have given the right answer. It is D, which is 3.3 trillion. So Adobe Experience Cloud pushes over 3.3 trillion offers a day. Isn't that amazing? So let's move on to the next question. Parisha, yeah. So Adobe was named Great Place to Work's Best Workplaces for Dash this year. Is it software? Is it pets? Is it parents? Okay, so we see majority of you are talking about software. Okay, some of you are saying parents. So it's a very interesting answer here. The correct answer is actually parents. So a few reasons why it is so is because of 26 weeks of paid time off for maternity leave, adoption assistance, and a lot more. So moving on, we'll move to the next question. So Adobe gives employees a certain wellness reimbursement amount for them to use on gym membership, exercise equipments, massages, and a lot more for a well-rounded, healthy lifestyle. The options are $200, $400, or $600. Okay, so really no prices for guessing. It's actually the maximum amount here, which is $600. And don't you all really want to be a part of Adobe after knowing all of this? Thank you. So I think we can close the question. And moving on, we also have a very exciting announcement coming up. And I'm sure a lot of you in the audience has been looking forward to this. So I would like to call upon Neha Malhotra, Manager Talent Acquisition at Adobe, to come up and make the announcement, please.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the session. I'd love to see the reactions on the chat board. If anyone is super excited, they can put in the comments as well. I love the thumbs up, celebration. Come on, we can get it more. It was a wonderful session by Vineet, followed by Ayushi and eventually Anjali. Thank you. I love it all. Before we actually get into the announcements, while Preeti asked an interesting trivia about Adobe, I'd like to ask just two questions from the session that we have attended so far. Since I'm a part of the talent acquisition, and that's how I'd like to introduce myself, folks in TA always love to see how attentive the audience were. So let me ask my first question. How big is the ABD seller organization in India? And I'm keeping a close watch on the chat board. Oh, I love it. Ishita, thank you. The audience can clap for you for getting the right number. Second question and the final question before we get into the announcements. What are the geographies that this business, Adobe Business Direct, operates in? Thank you, APAC, EMEA, America. Thank you. That testifies. Thank you for being attentive and thank you for listening to the session throughout. So as it comes to the opportunities within Adobe, we'd like to publicize two positions, and Preeti will have the form up anytime now. The two opportunities that we are publishing, they are a part of the Vineet's organization, which is Adobe Business Direct. The first one, Customer Success Account Manager, and the second one, which is Inbound Sales Manager. As it comes to both these roles, and we are conscious that we have audience from all different backgrounds, sales, non-sales, experienced, freshers, no experience in sales altogether. Some of the top 3 skills that we'd like for you to identify. How passionate are you about sales, and how passionate will you be when it comes to driving the numbers? That's skill number 1. Second, storytelling. Articulation is the key. Ability to engage with the audience in a manner wherein I'd like to pick up the line which Vineet used in his presentation, that people and customers do not like to be sold, but they like to buy. So how well are you able to have conversations with the customers which are engaging, and how you are really creating the value for Adobe's customers, which is skill number 2. And third, given the kind of the portfolio this is, which deals in volumes of customers because it is small and mid-size space, the ability to be a multitasker, who has the potential to really manage a broad spectrum of customers, drive value from each of the conversations, and of course, generate business and revenue through each of the calls that we are making. That's skill number 3. So seller, passionate about sales. Second, conversations which are engaging. And third, ability to multitask. That's really from the roles perspective that we do have, and some of these skills are going to be interchangeably leveraged between an inbound position versus that of a customer success position. However, as it comes to Adobe as an organization as well, what are the values that we really seek? Own the outcome, which is one of the values that we really look for in the professionals that we recruit in the organization. So bias for action, which is again interrelated to the first skill that I said in terms of having a number-driven approach. Create the future. How you are innovating through every conversation that you are having with a customer, whether big or small. At what time are you really bringing in other parties in the seller ecosystem involved? Raise the bar. And as Ayushi said, that how she really now manages some of the new hires and is really a part of the interviewing team. That's really raising the bar for Adobe as a company. And third, being genuine. And I'll bank upon Anjali's example of really being vulnerable, breaking the stereotype of calling out that sales is not something which was meant for women. So those are the values that we look for and the top 3 skills that we look for. That's really all from our side in terms of the opportunities. Of course, the gamut of the roles within the organization is huge. I saw the chat board. Some of you also mentioned about the operations role, etc. So it's all open. We will not play hide and seek, as that's the external verbiage which is used for talent acquisition. But please bring on your questions pertaining to the opportunities, pertaining to the businesses and the role types that any of you may have.
Sure. Thank you so much, Neha. We'll take a few questions now. We have some questions that have come up. So requesting anybody from the Adobe team to take up, to respond to them. So we have one question which has come from Swarna. The question is, how is AI changing the sales process, especially in the SaaS industry?
I'll take that. So I think from a AI perspective, as Adobe, we want to help all customers get to a desired outcome. So as soon as they come to our website, there will be AI bot, everything which will engage with the customer. But not all customers get to outcome with just AI. They need human intervention at the right point. And that's where the sales team comes into play. We also look for AI to help our sellers do their job. So if there are customers who need help and they prefer talking to a human, then that human has AI tools available to help that customer get to an output. Now that AI help is coming in form of helping you get email templates, getting you a signal of what the customer is telling us, right? And these AI tools will continue to develop, right? There's so many of them in the market today that you can bring in to improve the effectiveness of the seller and get to an outcome. So to me, that's the first stage where humans will always be needed to help the customers. And then AI tools will help the sellers help the customers. And over a period of time, this will refine, graduate to a next level in our world of sales in general, whether it is SaaS or any other company, right? Progressive companies will move towards this faster than the other companies. And that's the only difference I would say.
Okay, thank you so much. The next question is, I have an experience in inside sales role for around 3 years in an electronic/electrical product-based sales domain. Would I be eligible to apply in Adobe since it's a SaaS-based sales?
So I think what we're looking for is a seller. So if you have good experience in terms of being a seller, helps us, right? You have bright chances to kind of make your way through this interview process. It does not matter whether you are from electrical or electronic background. We will do all the onboarding. We will help you with the concepts to be successful at Adobe. So there is this 2 weeks of onboarding which happens, a little bit of nesting which will happen before you actually go into production. So we'll help you get there.
Thank you so much. There is another question wherein they want to know that can we join ABD as a woman on a career break? Do you have any criteria for hiring in terms of number of years of break?
I'll take that, Preeti. So yes, we do have a program which is Adobe Wide program under the brand name of She Sparks, which is where we invite all women applicants who probably would have taken a break in the past due to personal reasons. It is an opportunity that She Sparks as a platform provides for women to come back gradually into the corporate career for a 6-month internship period. And after that, basis performance and also basis how the individual found the role and the organization, the next steps are identified. But yes, we are open to women on career break as well.
Sure. Thank you so much, Neha. These are the questions that are currently, available in the Q&A section. Any other questions that anybody has, you could probably send across an email to us and we'll kind of get back to you. Any other questions that you may have, Akshara?
I guess we are on time, and it was really a nice session and so much to learn from you, Vineet. So thank you for sparing time for this.
Sure. So, before we kind of close the session, we have one poll question coming up just to understand, what is it that you got from this session. So requesting Farisha to launch the question. So we would like to know how likely is it that you are you would recommend sales careers at Adobe after attending this session. Requesting everyone to participate.
Preeti, while the audience will respond to the question, there is another question that I see on the chat board in terms of the longevity of the application form. So you may want to respond to that.
Sure. We'll give it a few more seconds. Requesting, everybody who has not participated to please participate in the poll. We would like to, understand your feedback on the session. All right, Farisha, I think we can close the poll. Thank you so much, Vineet, for this very enlightening session. I'm sure it has been an eye-opener for all of us in the audience because there have been a lot of myths that are associated with sales careers, whether it is for women or otherwise. And, you have beautifully shared those insights with us today as to why these may not necessarily be true. Thank you so much for taking out time and having this wonderful session. It has certainly changed a lot of perspectives in the positive way. And thank you so much, Ayushi and Anjali, for sharing your experiences and your journey. We at Aspire for Her truly believe that if she can see it, she can be it. And that's what you both would have inspired a lot of women in the audience, because they will also believe that if she has been here and she's here, even we can be here. So thank you so much, and thank you, Neha, for sharing these amazing opportunities. I'm sure the community is really excited to apply, and you will definitely see a lot of applications flowing in shortly. And thank you to the entire Adobe team, Akshara, Shivram, Latish, for making this event possible. We have been really looking forward to an event around sales careers for women, and thank you for making this possible. Thank you to the entire Aspire for Her team who has worked, to make this event possible. And we look forward to all of you applying to the roles available, and hope you had a great session and have a great evening, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.